looking at today a shotgun microphone here from Comica. This is the V30 Pro. Now this little device is going to be something you'd use on your DSLR or a video camera or even a cell phone if you wanted to have a shotgun mic. A shotgun mic is going to have more focus on where it's getting its sound from. It'll have cancellation to the side. Generally it will work forward the best, back second best, and the sides most cancellation. So they've got a little shotgun mic we're going to look at today and do an unboxing, and we're actually going to do a demo of that. First off, the only thing I've done so far is I did release the little tape here so you could open it up. If you get this and it does not have that, that means that it is a return, and you want to make sure it has that security tape on it. And I'll just open up the box here so you can get an idea of what's all included. And we're kind of doing this together. Okay, box is empty. I think I've got some literature here, information, a little user's guide, and it shows you what they're suggesting for putting it on a DSLR. It comes with a little this dead cat, dead rat tail, cat's tail. I've heard it referred to in a lot of different ways. Go to the right end and it would open up. Basically what this does is this slides onto the microphone, and there's different versions of these, and what it'll allow it to do is to reduce or eliminate all wind noise, which is very helpful depending upon what your application is. And I'm not exactly sure how it goes on. There we go. So it has the opening right there. So we put our microphone in, close it up, and we are good to go. We'll look at that a little bit more later. And then we have the microphone itself. So we have a cold shoe mount to put it on top of our camera, and it is working on a plastic bracket that's going to give it some bounce. So it'll take some of that shock that you have when you are working with it. One of the tests we're going to do is we're going to plug this in to the camcorder, be recording, and I'm going to shake that camcorder around quite a bit. And it's going to make you dizzy. I apologize in advance for that, but this is one of the tests we're going to do to make sure that the little wire is going to not have any shorts in it. So looking at it here, we've got the ability to roll off. There's a little switch here in the back. We can roll off the low frequencies, so we switch it to that, or we can do flat. And then we have a on and an additional gain. We have an on. It feels like a three-way switch. So it's off, and then it's on with a 10 dB gain, and then it has the on with a kind of a regular. So let's see, how does this open up to put batteries in? Right here. Okay, so it looks like we have AAA batteries, and that they are not included. So I'll grab a pair or set. Yeah, it looks like just two AAA batteries, and we'll put that in there. So that's the unboxing side of it. Just you see the movement. I'm going to go get the batteries, and then we're going to do the tests, and then we're going to come back and listen to the audio a little bit. I'll listen to it and then kind of give you my thoughts on it for using it in a variety of different applications. So we're going to put the batteries in, and it's really quite simple to put the batteries in. Just two AAA batteries, and you snap those in. 1 and 2, just making sure you have the polarity right. Nothing fancy whatsoever with that. Put the cover back on, it will snap on and be good to go. Oh, and it looks like I am already on. There we go. I gotta push the right spot. So we have off, and we have on, and that's with a 10 dB gain, and we have on, that is a normal, we'll call it. And in the top we have, if you can see that, let me just move it in here. You can see maybe on the top that there we are. There we can see that if we're to the one side we're flat, and the other side we have a roll off for the bass frequencies. If you're doing something where you have music and such in the background, that roll off is really kind of important. Now the other end is a tip, make sure you guys can see it. I'll bring your back by me. Tip ring sleeve. This is meant for camcorders, DSLRs, tip ring sleeve. Now cell phone or mobile devices are using a tip ring sleeve, so you have two little rings here instead of the sleeve quite as long. There are adapters that go from this to your cell phone, so you can use this with your cell phone. Occasionally these aren't putting out enough power. That's where that 10 dB bump helps tremendously. But we're going to go, right now you're listening to the camcorder just as it is. I'm going to plug this in, and this room is about 14 feet wide. So I'm going to give you an idea of how this sounds close, and then I'll take a step back and step all the way to the other side of the room and give you an idea so you can compare the sound. camcorder with this close and farther, because this is really something you would use if you're going to be doing some interviewing and you're stepping back to generally about 6 feet, somewhere in that ballpark. And that's what I'm from you now. Fairly quiet room. There's not much going on in here except a couple of little tiny fans on computers. This is where you want to be using this for an interview. And I'm going to put it on. So think about this right now. I am 6 feet away from you. Now let's poke this up and see what it sounds like. Next, we're going to add a sound source off to the side. We're going to add some music that's going to be off to the side. And I'll kind of tell you where that is so we can get an idea of what it can do for sound rejection. Okay, so this is what I'm going to be using for a music source, just the iPad. Give you an idea, we're again about 4 feet away. So that's the noise, the sound I'm going to have. First thing we're going to do is put it to the side. So now I'm talking, that music is over on the side at about the same distance from the camera, but it is exactly 90 degrees over there. Give you an idea of how it sounds in relation to my voice. Now I'm going to take a step back. So now I'm back here at about 8 feet and you're having that cancellation and figuring out this might be about the extent with more ambient noise as far back as you would want to go with having that. Now I'm going to move my sound source a little bit. So now I've moved my sound source. I'm at about 4 feet away and it is about 4 feet to the side. So now instead of it being a 90 degree, it's at a 45 degree angle. Just to give you an idea of what it would sound like by doing it differently. So now I have the sound source with me. This is having it as low as I can reach. This is the sound source that's at my feet, down on the floor. And this is the sound source up as high as I can reach, about 2.5 feet above the camera. So that was a look at the microphone, and I actually had it set to the plus 10 dB in the middle, just to give you an idea of the maximum capability of this microphone. On the camera that I'm using, I could actually see where the volume was and such, and I could see that it could handle the 10 dB gain. If I had one where it was more sensitive camera, or if I adjusted the camera, I might have to take it down. I wanted to show you this. This is the little wind block. So I wanted to get you, this is what it looks like when it's inside that wind sock, that dead cat, the cat's tail, whatever you're referring to. It is inside here, and if we were able to have wind, this would be able to break that wind and you wouldn't hear that wind coming, and yet it really doesn't interfere with the sound. I'm going to plug this in, and I'm actually going to set it down to the 0 mark and give you a sound so you guys can hear what it sounds like with this on at the 0 setting. So you can see the fuzz, and I could move it and do some things with that, but I didn't want to because I want to show you that this is, I've got the fuzzy on, and if there was wind, it would be cutting that wind noise. And this is what I sound like through that, and this is also set down at that flat or that 0 dB gain compared to the 10 dB gain which we used on the other video. All right, so there was our sound test, and you'll notice as we were going to the side of the microphone, when we had it aimed at me and we had that sound source that was off to the side, more of at a 90-degree angle, it actually did a nice job of focusing and capturing me compared to the music source there. Obviously, as the music source becomes more in line with me, you could still hear me, but that gives you an idea of what it can do. This has a super-Cardioid pattern, which means that it has kind of a heart-shaped pattern that goes out the front. And if I can show you a picture of that, they show you right there. That's kind of the pickup pattern. And to kind of visualize what that means, that would be like the microphone would be just like that in picking up. So the microphone pickup is kind of this area up here, canceling on the sides, and then there's a little bit behind. So there have been numerous times where I've done interviews of people and I've been behind the microphone because it picks me up and it picks them up, which is kind of a neat feature with shotgun microphones. The wind muff, of course, is included with the device, so that's a added benefit to it. And the whole package runs about under $60, around that $55 range for the microphone and the wind muff. and then you're good to go. I did the video, when I shook it, I had it plugged into my camera recording, shook the thing to see if it was going to give us any problem, and I did not have any problems with this whatsoever. So I took it out and did a few test things like that and yanked on a little bit more and plugged it back in, and everything was sounding absolutely fine. So obviously the wires are connected in here pretty well. That doesn't mean that they're all going to be perfect, because sometimes things happen, but this one is good to go, and I would definitely take it out and use it in some applications where I'm out there wanting to have a shotgun microphone. For the price point, you're getting a really good quality microphone compared to many of the others. I mean, this is, compared to my Rode, the $200 microphone, it compares pretty close to that microphone, so I'm pretty excited about that. Anyway, a link will be in the description below, so you can go check this out online, and if it's something you're looking for a shotgun mic, this one definitely is one to take a look at.